chosen one. You have been led to these words because the turning point in your life is drawing near, and I want you to stop allowing what is happening before your eyes to conceal the deeper work being prepared behind the scenes. At present, you may still see shortages, delayed plans, unopened doors, and results that do not seem equal to the effort you have invested. Yet what exists today is not the final verdict over your future. Your circumstances reveal only a small part of the journey, while I can see the entire road from where you now stand to where you are being led. Therefore, do not allow the noise of the world to drown out the peace gently rising within you. Do not let numbers, deadlines, or the judgments of others cause you to forget that important movements began long before your eyes could recognize them. This is not the season for you to panic and search for an escape at any cost. This is the moment for you to stand firm, preserve clarity, and prepare to cross into a new territory. I know that anxiety has often spoken to you in a very convincing voice. It has reminded you of your failures, magnified everything you still lack, and made you believe that unless you act immediately, every opportunity will disappear. It has caused you to watch others advance and then question the pace of your own journey. But you must understand that haste is not always evidence of progress, and slowing down does not mean you have been forgotten. There were seasons when I kept you in place, not to hinder you, but to align you with something more suitable. Some offers did not succeed because they would have pulled you away from your values. Some relationships ended because they could not accompany you into the road ahead. Certain resources did not come because I first needed to teach you how to recognize, manage, and use them without allowing them to control you. When you look back, you will understand that much of what you once called loss was actually release from a future, far too small for what had been prepared for you. Now, the things that once seemed scattered are gradually being brought into their proper place. Opportunities you believed had passed may return in a better form. An idea that was once overlooked may become the doorway leading you into expansion. A seemingly ordinary meeting may carry the connection needed for your next step. However, do not think of this transition only in terms of money or possessions. What I desire to restore first is your inner position, your ability to stand upright without feeling inferior, to make decisions without being controlled by fear, and to receive something good without feeling that you must apologize for being favored. Some people become so accustomed to living in lack that when abundance appears, they distrust it or unconsciously reject it. I do not want you to enter a new season with the mindset of the old one. You must learn to believe that peace, stability, and a well-provided life are not too extravagant for you. The support that is coming will not require you to push, compete, or diminish others in order to rise. What truly belongs with you will never demand that you betray your integrity. You do not need to speak against another person to prove that you deserve more. Nor must you chase every open door because you fear it may be your final opportunity. I can lead you to the place prepared for you through paths far quieter than you imagine. One timely conversation can accomplish what years of effort could not. One wise decision may protect you from months of exhaustion. One idea pursued faithfully may create a sustainable source of income more valuable than temporary success. What comes from me often carries clarity, dignity, and peace, even when it still requires diligent work. Labor in the right direction will mature you, while striving in the wrong place will only wear you down. I allowed you to pass through days when effort seemed to produce no visible result, not because I failed to see you, but because I was deepening your foundation. You learned the value of money when you had to consider every small expense. You came to appreciate opportunities because you once stood before firmly closed doors. You learned how to recognize sincere people because you had placed your trust in the wrong hands before. All these lessons will help you protect what is about to be entrusted to you. Wealth is not measured only by the amount you hold, but by your ability to remain pure-hearted when you have more choices, to remain grateful when you are no longer lacking, and to remember those who are struggling after you have entered a more spacious place. I do not merely want to place resources into your hands. I want to form within you a heart, mature enough for those resources to become a blessing to many. You must also stop treating your worth as something that must be proven through achievement. You do not become more valuable when you possess more money, nor are you worth less during a difficult season. Finances can change, positions can shift, and human praise can come and go, but the dignity I have placed within you does not depend upon those things. When you understand this, you will no longer use money to fill an inner emptiness, spend merely to be noticed, or hold everything tightly because of fear. You will learn to use what you possess with freedom and wisdom. You will know when to save, when to invest, when to help, and when to refuse an unhealthy request. This is restored authority, not the power to control others, but the ability to govern yourself with clarity. Perhaps you are waiting for a dramatic sign to prove that the turning point has begun, but a change is sometimes announced through very ordinary things. Suddenly, an old fear no longer obsesses you. You begin to see solutions where you once saw only dead ends. You feel a prompting to bring order to your life, complete unfinished work, or learn a new skill. Do not underestimate these movements. When something changes within you, your external circumstances will gradually begin to follow. A new life rarely begins with a loud announcement. It begins through one quiet decision, repeated each day. Remain faithful in the small steps. Complete what you promised. Manage your time carefully. Do not waste your resources. Stop postponing what you know must be done, and distance yourself from the things that continually pull you back into disorder. I am not asking you to believe pleasant illusions and then sit still while waiting for everything to change by itself. Genuine faith always leads to responsibility. When I open an opportunity, you must approach it prepared. When an idea is placed within your heart, you must study, learn, and begin. When you receive greater resources, you must make a plan so that they are not wasted. Provision from the heavenly realm does not remove discipline. It gives your discipline direction. I have not called you to pursue wealth through greed, but neither do I want you to use humility as an excuse to remain forever in disorder. You can live with purity and still grow. You can be generous while still protecting your future. You can desire a better life without shame, as long as what you seek does not become a throne within your heart. The former chapter of your life was written with much anxiety, long nights of calculation, and the feeling that you had to carry everything alone. But you do not need to carry that entire way of living across the new threshold. Leave behind the habit of always expecting the worst. Release the belief that every good thing will quickly disappear. Stop calling yourself by the names of your past failures. I am teaching you to live with a more steadfast trust, where you still face reality honestly, but are no longer imprisoned by it. You may acknowledge that you are going through difficulty, while still believing that the difficulty will not last forever. You may not yet possess every answer, but you can still walk wisely today. You may not see the door fully open, yet you can prepare like someone who knows they will soon be called to pass through it. Therefore, my beloved child, guard your mind from distraction and do not measure your future by what is missing in the present. Things that were once restrained are beginning to be released in the right way. Clarity will come so that you may know what to pursue, what to release, and who should truly walk beside you. Resources will find their way to you through suitable channels. But you must remain awake enough to recognize them and disciplined enough to preserve them. What I am preparing is not meant to make you arrogant, but to free you from fear, establish you in the right place, and make you a source of support for others. Continue without panic, perform your work without competition, and receive new movement without allowing the past to cast its shadow over it. The road that once exhausted you no longer has the authority to determine your next chapter. A new page is opening, and this time you will enter it with maturity, gratitude, clarity, and a faith refined through the days when you believed you could go no farther. My beloved child, you are feeling a deep movement within yourself, as though the things prepared long ago are now approaching the moment of revelation. You do not need to force yourself to explain this feeling through reason, because some things are recognized by the heart before they are seen by the eyes, and certain changes begin in hidden places before they leave a mark upon outward circumstances. The peace mingled with expectation rising within you is not a passing emotion. It is a reminder that the old season is gradually closing and a greater door is beginning to open. I want you to receive this with humility, not with impatience or a desire to prove anything to others, but with the steadiness of one who has passed through silent years and understands that all maturity requires time to be cultivated in stillness. There were times when you asked for a sign to know whether you were walking in the right direction. You desired confirmation, a slightly opened door, or something clear enough to stop you from wondering whether your perseverance had any meaning. But now, I am not merely guiding you through distant promises. I am causing results to begin appearing within your own life. Your waiting days were never wasted. The tears you wiped away in solitude did not fall into an unknown place. The upright decisions you made when no one was watching became the foundation for the support that is coming. You may have thought you were being delayed, but in truth you were being strengthened. You believed you were standing still, yet within you wisdom, endurance, and the ability to remain calm before greater things were being formed. You must also understand that turning points rarely appear in a pleasant form at the beginning. Often they arrive through disruption, through the need to release something, and through the feeling that familiar things are no longer standing where they once stood. Some things left you and caused you pain. Certain opportunities appeared very close and then suddenly closed. Some relationships you believed would remain for a long time ended halfway along the road. I know that you wondered what you had done wrong and why something you treasured could not stay. But not every departure is rejection. Some things had to be removed from your hands so that your hands could become free to receive what was more suitable. Some paths had to be blocked because they would only return you to the same cycle. And some people could not continue beside you, not because you were greater than they were, but because the road ahead requires a unity and maturity they were not yet ready to carry. Therefore, do not view your losses only through sorrow. Look upon them with discernment. I am adjusting every line of your story, not to empty you, but to remove what would become a burden when new responsibility is placed into your hands. Elevation is not only about receiving more. Often, it begins with being released from what is no longer suitable. If you continue carrying every fear, attachment, and habit from the old season, you will struggle to walk lightly into a spacious place. I do not want you to enter blessing with a heart still governed by scarcity. I want you to know that you are supported, guided, and given enough wisdom to use what is coming in a way that produces goodness for many people. The pressures you endured were not merely tests of your endurance. They taught you how to manage yourself, how not to allow temporary emotions to destroy long-term decisions, and how to continue doing what is right without immediate reward. Loneliness once made you believe you had been separated from everyone, but it was also in that silence that you learned to hear the calling within you and stopped living entirely according to the approval of the crowd. Being misunderstood caused you pain, yet it also taught you when to explain and when to let time provide the answer. You are being prepared to carry a responsibility that concerns more than finances or status. You will need a heart broad enough not to turn abundance into selfishness, a mind alert enough not to waste valuable things on trivial purposes, and a spirit humble enough to remember how you were once supported. I am placing within you the capacity to become one who opens a new way for your family and the generations that follow, the cycles that exhausted those before you do not have to continue repeating themselves in your life. You will learn how to build rather than merely survive, how to accumulate wisdom rather than allowing fear to govern every choice, and how to sow seeds whose entire harvest you may never personally witness. You are being called to establish a healthier foundation, where future descendants will not have to begin from the same brokenness from which you once began. What I entrust to you is not merely intended to free you from present difficulty, but to enable you to create a new road, a new way of living, and a new way of thinking. A genuine legacy is not found only in what is left in someone's hands, but also in the peace, discipline, honesty, and vision passed from one generation to the next now. The time of preparation is gradually meeting the time of revelation. The things you learned in silence will begin to find a place where they can be used. Ideas that once existed only in your thoughts will have the opportunity to become practical work. The right relationships will appear at the proper time, not necessarily according to your plan, but carrying the clarity for which you have waited. You will realize that you no longer need to force every door. Some doors will open because you have become mature enough to enter them. Certain people will recognize the value within you without requiring you to promote yourself loudly. Keep your heart calm when these things arrive. Do not allow surprise to turn into doubt, and do not allow ease to make you careless. Continue to live uprightly as you did when no one was watching, because the character that brought you here is the very thing that will help you preserve what is entrusted to you. I want you to stop pleading as though you were still standing outside every promise. Begin to act with the confidence of one who knows they have been given an important assignment. This does not mean becoming proud or careless. On the contrary, it means that you stop diminishing yourself because of former failures. Prepare your plans, bring order to your life, care for what you already possess, and become faithful in small responsibilities. Do not sit still, waiting for everything to become perfect before you begin. Confirmation often meets you while you are moving, not while you remain forever in a safe place. Do what you know is right today, and tomorrow will open with greater clarity. I will not show you the entire road at once, but I will provide enough light for each step. The things coming to you will carry purpose. Prosperity is not entrusted to you so that you may display your worth, but so that you have the means to accomplish good. Influence is not given so that you may stand above others, but so that your voice may encourage those who are losing direction. Favor does not come so that you forget your difficult days, but so that you know how to open your hands to those who are now standing where you once stood. When you understand this, the gift will not change you in the wrong direction. You will remain gentle, grateful for small things, and mindful that the greatest power does not lie in being known by many, but in making the lives of others better. Therefore, my beloved child, stand firm and prepare your heart. Do not return to gather the things I have already helped you release. Do not run back to familiar limitations simply because they feel safe. You are entering a season where preparation meets provision, faithfulness meets opportunity, and calling meets responsibility. What lies ahead is not merely a change of circumstances. It is your own growth in how you receive, preserve, and give. I walked with you through the narrow roads, and I will remain with you when the space before you becomes wide. Move forward calmly, uprightly, and gratefully. What is coming is not meant to separate you from your true self, but to reveal why you were prepared for so long. You are learning to view money with peace and clarity, no longer treating it as a shadow that frightens you or a power capable of determining your worth. I want you to understand that money itself carries neither greed nor holiness. It is simply a tool placed into your hands, through which effort, talent, time, and devotion may be transformed into value that sustains life. When you view it through mature eyes, you will no longer chase it desperately or push it away out of guilt. You will learn to receive what is necessary with gratitude, manage what you possess with awareness, and use increase for a righteous purpose. This is a profound inner transformation. Because before I enlarge your outward resources, I often teach you to create spaciousness within. When your heart is no longer thrown into confusion by numbers, you can become steady enough to preserve greater things without being ruled by them. For a time, you believed that in order to be recognized, you had to work until you were exhausted, continually explain your abilities, or move quickly so that others would not overtake you. But now you are learning another way to walk. You no longer need to prove your worth through noise, because your integrity speaks through every decision. The way you fulfill your duties, honor agreements, keep your word without reminders, and remain calm under pressure is building a lasting reputation. Those responsible for entrusting resources do not seek only intelligent people. They look for people who can be trusted. Greater systems do not remain open for long to those who merely know how to make an impression. They make room for people who understand structure, respect boundaries, and do not act according to temporary emotion. You are becoming such a person, not through striving, but through the quiet process of allowing steadfastness to grow within you. From this transformation, I am also leading you into a deeper understanding of provision. You will not merely know that income has arrived. You will understand where it comes from, what makes it sustainable, and why certain streams become blocked. You will begin to recognize the difference between possessing money temporarily and building a foundation that can endure. I will teach you to observe which skills create genuine value, which habits cause resources to leak away, which relationships help you grow, and which decisions merely satisfy an immediate desire while leaving a future burden. When you understand these principles, you will no longer live like someone continually pushed around by circumstances. You will know how to act proactively, prepare, allocate, and wait for the right time. Such clarity is more valuable than a sudden increase, because money can leave unwise hands. But correct knowledge will enable you to rebuild even after a difficult season. Therefore, you will notice that your reactions are gradually changing. In the past, a small disruption could cause you to panic, make a hurried decision, or search for an immediate escape. Now, you are learning to pause before acting, examine before committing, and listen before answering. Slowing down will not cause you to miss what belongs to you. Instead, it will protect you from doors decorated with beautiful promises, but lacking substance. I am teaching you to distinguish between a genuine opportunity and an invitation built upon pressure. Something good will not need to destroy your peace in order for you to obtain it. You will learn to make a plan instead of panicking, ask questions instead of pretending to understand, and refuse what does not align with you without feeling that you have offended anyone. When you hold this posture, others will recognize within you a trustworthiness that cannot be manufactured through words. The first changes may be so small that you could easily overlook them. Perhaps you will no longer buy something merely to soothe a temporary emotion. Perhaps, for the first time, you will say no to a request that would force you to sacrifice your stability. Perhaps you will begin recording your expenses, setting aside something for the future, or seriously learning a skill capable of increasing your value. You may also realize that you no longer compare your progress with the outward appearance of another person's success. These changes may not create a loud impact, but they are evidence that a new order is being established. I often begin great works through small decisions, because it is there that you demonstrate your readiness. A strong house does not begin with a high roof, but with a carefully laid foundation that no one can yet see. Do not despise the quiet confidence growing within you. It is not pride, and it does not need to be displayed. It is the steadiness of one who knows they can learn, adjust, and manage what has been entrusted to them. When you no longer need constant approval from outside, you will make decisions that align with your values rather than trying to please everyone. You will stop lending because you fear being judged. Stop promising more than you can provide merely to prove your generosity. And stop entering unclear agreements because you fear losing an opportunity. Kindness does not require foolishness. Genuine generosity needs order, because you cannot support others for long if your own foundation is continually weakened. I want you to give with love while also protecting what I have placed into your care. When increase begins to appear, do not force yourself to change everything immediately. You do not need to prove your worthiness by making dramatic decisions on the first day. Allow the new thing to settle gently so that you have time to observe, learn, and adjust. Abundance comes to support you, not to create additional pressure that causes you to perform a different life before others. Some resources must remain undisturbed before they are used. Some opportunities require research before they are accepted. Some plans need time to mature before they are announced. Resist the urge to tell everyone about what is opening, because not everyone can receive your good news with a pure heart. Discretion in the early stage is not fear. It is a protective boundary around a tender seed. I also want you to understand that favor does not always appear as a gift falling into your hands without responsibility. Sometimes it comes through someone trusting you with something greater. Sometimes it appears as an opportunity that requires you to raise your standards, gain more knowledge, or release an old habit. Certain forms of expansion may initially make you feel that your entire life must be reorganized. But this does not mean that you are on the wrong path. It simply reveals that your present capacity must be adjusted to accommodate what is new. Receive responsibility with humility, but do not turn it into a burden of fear. You do not need to know everything immediately. You only need to be honest about what you do not know, willing to seek guidance, and able to remain teachable. You will eventually understand that calmness is a form of strength. Those who are weak often feel compelled to react immediately in order to feel that they still possess control. But the mature can wait until they see clearly. You no longer chase every invitation, trend, or path promising rapid results. You know that what belongs to you does not need to be seized in panic. This calmness does not mean standing still and doing nothing. It is energy directed wisely, the ability to act without being swept away by urgency. When others panic, you can observe. When others compete, you can prepare. When others attempt to obtain something at any cost, you can preserve the principles that protect your peace. This posture will carry you farther than hurried steps without direction. Therefore, do not force yourself to believe through intense emotion. Allow this understanding to settle gradually, like water soaking into soil that has been dry for a long time. You do not need to create abundance through strained willpower. What you need is to prepare a life capable of receiving without losing order. Continue learning, manage small things well, keep your word, honor boundaries, and perform every task with integrity. When the roots become deep enough, the branches will naturally spread. I am not bringing increase to overwhelm you, but to give you greater means to fulfill the good that has been placed within your heart. As this truth takes root, urgency will gradually give way to gentle certainty. You will no longer ask fearfully whether you are enough, because you will know that you are being taught how to become someone capable of building, preserving, and sharing. Continue walking in that peace, because peace will not make you slow. It will keep you from losing your way when greater doors begin to open.